Good evening, everyone. My name is Will Nickley, and I'm an assistant professor at The Ohio State University in our Department of Design, and I have the great pleasure of welcoming you all in this evening to our Student Merit Awards. I have more to say, so we'll keep going here. Yes, welcome to Ohio State. I would like to start tonight with a brief land acknowledgement. The Ohio State University occupies the ceded ancestral lands of the Shawnee, Potawatomi, Delaware, Miami, Peoria, Seneca, Wyandot, Ojibwe, and Cherokee peoples. I acknowledge that it's my responsibility to learn the histories of Indigenous peoples, confront the racist and oppressive tactics that have preserved the racial erasure of these communities, and advocate for increased resources focused on the needs and capacities of Indigenous communities. And I would go a step further and say that design has both a stake in and a power to address this. We're here tonight for the Student Merit Awards. And before we get into that, I wanted to announce a few things that are coming up to hopefully have on your radar, on your calendars. We have a guest as a part of our Buder-Geller Design Affair at Ohio State. Fabio Di Liberto will be joining us on March 20th in the evening for a public lecture. We also have an Anthology of Blackness Roundtable on April 11th at 1:30 p.m., open to anyone who would like to join. The Ohio State Design Senior Show has its professional night at, actually this year it will be at Hopkins and Hayes Hall on May 2nd in the evening. And for all of these events and more, you can find more information at design.osu.edu. I've also been asked to announce that the Columbus College of Art and Design has their Chroma show, which is their senior show, on May 10th. And ICC also has an open house coming up on May 3rd. So please check out those websites and stay tuned for those future events. I have a few thank yous that I'd like to share with you all. First, our department chair, Dr. Fabienne Munch, for providing support for tonight's event. Our industrial design program coordinator, Dr. Sebastian Prue. Our business operations manager, Blaine Nicodemus, and of course, IDSA Columbus, Maria and Carly for support for this event as well. IDSA student chapter at Ohio State as well. So the Student Merit Awards are, of course, a competition, a chance for some national notoriety, maybe for a handful of students at this stage in their budding careers. But it's also worth mentioning that our Student Merit Awards here in Columbus are part of a bigger tradition. In fact, I was talking with Greg Tooney earlier about when our schools, Ohio State, CCAD, and more recently ICC, started presenting for Student Merit Awards together. And well, we couldn't remember when it started, probably sometime in the 80s. But this is important because we have a design community in the Columbus area that is pretty tight-knit, and it's tied to our schools and it's tied to our students who are presenting. So you should know that we're here for you. We're excited to see your work, and regardless of who's selected as winners tonight to go on to the next stage, this is a big important event for all of us here. So we're glad that you all came out to be with us tonight. With that, I will introduce Maria Basil. She is an industrial designer at Design Central. She is also the chapter chair of IDSA Columbus and a Buckeye.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Will, for the introduction. Like you said, I'm Maria. I'm the chair of IDSA Columbus, and I'm joined by my co-chair, Carly Giles. Aaron Cochran is also a co-chair, but he couldn't make it tonight. He's feeling a little under the weather, unfortunately. But again, I just wanted to welcome and thank all of you for coming out here for tonight. And as Will was saying, we're so lucky here in Columbus to have this awesome community, and us as IDSA Columbus love being a part of it and giving back to the schools that gave us our design education. So tonight, for the event, 3 seniors from each school, ICC, CCAD, and Ohio State, will have 8 minutes to present some of their portfolios for us. And we have our wonderful jury here, who I'll introduce in a moment, who will judge their presentations. And after the presentations, we'll take a little bit of a break and talk about who won the prize for some in-between in-between presenter entertainment that Aaron will talk to us about in a minute. And additionally, we'll let the judges talk for a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll introduce the winners at the end. Now for our judges, we have Megan Wenning from Crown Corporation. We have Hagar Baruch, who's from Lexington, and we have Tylen Shop from Westinghouse Corporation. Thank you guys so much for being here. Without you guys, this event couldn't happen, so thanks for taking the time out of your day to support us. And then after this event, kind of some next steps. The students that are selected tonight will be moving on to the national round of the competition. We'll be competing against other students in the Central District to be chosen as one of the winners that will be presented in the IDSA magazine next year, and also present at the IDSA National Conference later this year as well. And before I hand off the mic to Aaron, I'd like to plug a few IDSA events coming up. First of all, March 5th, next week, is Industrial Design Day. So, woo, go Industrial Design. And then additionally, date to be determined, but our local chapter teamed up with IDSA Cincinnati is in the process of planning a Blurred Lines 4.0. For those of you who have been to our previous events, we kind of do an intersection of design in another field. This year, it's about kind of the intersection between design and life. We'll be having a panel talking about work-life balance, people in their artistic endeavors outside of design, and kind of how people are getting involved with their communities, either through design or outside of design. So be out on the lookout for more information about that. And if you're interested in being part of the panel, feel free to come up and chat. And then finally, April 3rd and 4th is a really exciting IDSA national event, the IDSA Deep Dive, Designing with AI Deep Dive. It's a virtual event exploring the intersection between design and AI, as we all know, is a huge, exciting thing right now. Now I'd like to introduce Aaron Shaw from Ohio State's IDSA student chapter to talk about our in-between presenter entertainment and our little competition for our audience.
Hello, everyone. My name's Erin. As I said, I am the president of the OSU student chapter of industrial design, and I'm here to talk about the fun stuff. So that's exciting. So we've been talking about entertainment. I planned some entertainment. There's going to be some short mini trivia quizzes. Has anyone heard of Kahoot? It's like Kahoot, but like a free version because Kahoot costs money. So we're going to have mini Kahoots between, but there's a catch. The winner of it wins the ultimate prize of a handmade chocolate chip cookie made by our one and only Mark Celestina, who is also our vice president. Now, you heard some oohs in there, and that's from the Ohio State students who know that these cookies are the best cookies you'll ever have. This is the ultimate prize. So those who are not at OSU, get excited. This is a big thing. All right, the other thing I have to talk about is fun bathroom breaks. We're going to be doing that in between the schools. So if you see our lovely pamphlet here, it's going to go in order of what it's listed. So CCAD is going first, ICC and Ohio State. In between each of them, each of the schools, we're going to have little bathroom breaks, grab some snacks, you know, have fun with that. I also want to bring attention to these lovely trophies that are on this table. And during one of the bathroom break times, maybe you can come and check it out. These are made by, they're designed by me and also manufactured by two other OSU students, Mark Celestina and Harrison Dodd, who are both part of our chapter, vice president and treasurer. Harrison is also taking photos, so we're all part of this. And then finally, before we get started, after the presentation, after everything's done, and you still are like, oh, I want to hang out with my design friends, a group of us are going to go to the Dueling Pianos bar, which is down High Street. If anyone's heard of it, it is a 18+ bar, so even the sophomores can join us. It is a like karaoke bar. There's 2 pianos, they sing, it's fun vibes, there's cocktails. I think it's $2 night, so we'll be there. There's also a Cane's across the street from it. So if you would like to get some sweet tea instead of a cocktail, that would work. And now we are going to start with CCAD, and Mike Grull is going to start us off. Everyone give him a round of applause.
So sorry, no one briefed you. Hello, and thank you all for having me here today. My name is Michael Grohl. I am a senior at the Industrial Design program at CCAD. So a little bit about me. So I started off in automotive restoration, working on cars and diagnosing engines. Along the way, I learned a little bit about process and how to work, but I didn't actually understand some of the things that I was doing and the custom aspect of it, and it really made me want to understand design. So along the way, I learned about CCAD and industrial design and the 4Ds of design. So since I have a room full of designers here, can anyone tell me the 4Ds of design? Or let's just shout them out together. They are discover, define, design, and deliver. And with that, I am hoping to share my work. So first, I brought Limu. This is a lighting project. As designers, we are exposed to a lot of different problems, and one of the ways that we can start to reframe them and analyze them is the pastel method. And with this, I focused specifically on the environment. And as designers, we have a responsibility to think about some of the things that we include in our designs. I was trying to focus on not using plastics, as they've been contributing continuously to a trash patch in the Pacific Ocean. So I wanted to capture what a healthy ocean looked like by exploring some of the textures, colors, and forms found in those environments. I started to iterate on some of those ideas and forms, and then I continued to look at the components and how they would start to fit together. I took those components into CAD to see if the idea would actually be viable, and then I started to prototype through the different aspects, so the base, the neck, and the internals. Once we had all of those completed, we assembled them into a final model, which, as you can see on the right side, the only piece of plastic that I've included is the switch. So finally, this is what I imagined that Limu would look like in the home and in its environment. Next, I have the rock rollout kit. This is a project that I focused on the American Red Cross brand and their consumers, the first responders. So I really wanted to capture what some of those issues that the first responders were dealing with, one of them being contamination, disorganization, and moisture. The other aspect of this is that they carry a lot of different things that aren't always included in a first aid kit. So once we had those things in mind, we started to iterate through the sketches and how we could help those helping others. Once we had a direction, we started to look at the Red Cross brand and some of the things that they include already in their brand family. So we took it into CAD and applied some of the CMF ideas that we found with the Red Cross. So what's included in rock? It includes a textured carry handle, quick release rubber snaps, a large a large item organizer compartment for those items that are harder to carry, as well as small organizer compartments for their standard issue items. So once all of that, rock is in action. Next, I have the Leo boots. This is a project in collaboration with Muck Boot. We were tasked with capturing the lifestyle of some of Muck Boot's users. So they participate actively in hiking, herding, and hunting. And then we wanted to capture what some of their day-to-day life looks like and some of the items that can be found in it. Then we moved into Muck Boots platforms and how we could apply some of those ideas to them, continuing into more ideation. And once we had a certain number, we started to take the ideas that we liked and refine them down into a single concept. Once this was completed, we applied our CMF and iterated through some of the ideas. We were working with a manufacturer in China to produce a prototype in real time. So we had to go through Photoshop and working with the manufacturer's specs to understand how these would come together. After some time, we got our prototypes back and were able to start to analyze what some of the differences were. For mine, I found that the manufacturer had a harder time capturing some of the hot melt features as well as some of the laces. From there, we wanted to imagine what it would look like to the consumers in the store. And then finally, I would like to share my senior capstone. This is a personal protective equipment project that focuses on helping the user keep safety in mind. So what we found as we went through shops is that users said they forgot, they didn't know, or that they just really didn't care. The unfortunate reality is that people are getting hurt by the thousands and the millions. So what are causing some of those injuries? Exposure to harmful substances and environments, strenuous and repetitive lifting, and then falls, struck, or hit by. So once we understood some of the injuries, we started to look at who our user types were, and we found 3 main user types: the never evers, the if you say so's, or the all day every days. For this project, we are going to focus on the if you say so's. These are young professionals who just need a friendly reminder or are willing to put on their safety if they're required. So to help our user, we developed maps. This is a list of tenets, so monitoring, accuracy, proximity, perception, and safety. These words are used to help guide the design as we go through our process. So we started to iterate and go through some of the ideation in our sketching, and then we revisited our user to look at some of the items that they would find in their day-to-day activities. Finally, we started to apply some of those designs to our concepts, and then we have our final concept that we're going to move forward with. If you are interested or would like to see more, please join me at Chroma this May at CCAD. Thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate you guys having me here today.
Okay, so our judges are going to take notes, and that means it's my time to shine. I will be bringing up the first one, which is going to be pretty design related. There's going to be a QR code coming up on the screen in a second if you want to join that. You don't have to participate if you don't want to, no pressure. Please make your names appropriate. Thank you. That's everyone joining. I didn't know there was audio. I've also never used this platform before, so I'm hoping for the best. We're all going to learn together. All right. I'm seeing less and less phones up, so I'm going to go back to the quiz. We've got, oh, do we need it again? Here. Did you get it? Dun. You can also type this game code in if that doesn't work for you. Oh, 89 people. Is there going to be a 90th? I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to join. Yeah! All right, let's start this. This is about gluing, everyone. According to thisorthat.com, what is the best gluing methods? Attaching fabric to paper. You cannot be mad at me for these answers. It was according to one internet search. All right. Dun dun dun. All right. Here's our leaderboard so far. All right, 33 people. Good job. Good job. Let's go on to the next question. Wood to glass. Okay, just for this round. I have each quiz is 8 questions, so I have 9 quizzes. I can speed it up though. Like this is got it. All right, 34 for silicone. All right, we're gonna speed this up, so get your answers in fast. Styrofoam to styrofoam. I'm only giving you 10 seconds. And we're gonna end that one. We're speeding it up. It's time to think. Every other answer is toxic and it melts it, just saying. So, next question. Plastic to wood, only 15 seconds. Three, two, one. Pretty good, almost everyone. Metal to plastic. All right. Ooh, this one's a tricky one. Rubber to leather. And that answer was cement glue. Vinyl with a woven back to plastic. Well, this one's going slower. A few more people in. Spray adhesive. This is the final question. Plastic to plastic. Okay, I hope this shows the winner. No, I don't want to end it. How do I see the leaderboard? Aha. We have Camille with top 5,100. Could Camille please raise their hand? Beautiful. And a cookie is coming your way. All right, how are judges doing? A few more seconds? Are you good? Awesome. We're going to present our next person then from. Am I good? Okay. Let me exit out of this first, actually, so I don't accidentally, that sound isn't playing the whole time. All right, so our next person is Rachel Lyle. Rachel Lyle, give it up for Rachel Lyle.
Oh, it's going to do it to me too, but it'll fix it hopefully on the next slide. Hello, everybody. My name is Rachel Lyle, and I'm excited to share a little bit about who I am as a designer with you today. As I reflected on, as I near the finish of my industrial design career at CCAD, I've reflected a little bit about what has made me who I am today, as well as affected my career as a designer. But what are those moments that has affected me and impacted my passions and designs? For me, those moments are always with ones I care about. Whether it's my brother pulling me into his room wanting to get my opinion on a new idea, or it's with friends hiking in the backcountry in New Mexico with only a backpack and a goal. But how do I encourage those moments for other people with my products? Well, by designing for moments to experience together, which leads me to my first project, Field. Field is a project partnered with Rocky Boots, where I wanted to create a hiking boot for those that maintain and guard the backcountry, otherwise known as conservationists, the protectors of the trail, protecting the land from the people and the people from the land. For this women's shoe, I took heavy inspiration from hiking culture, as well as desert Western landscapes. And this is where I drew my color inspiration, material, and texture. As I jumped into ideation, I really wanted to capture those moods and feelings that you felt in those environments, creating a resilient, light, and stable shoe. Which led me to kind of my final direction, which is the green one kind of in the lower right, which I felt best captured that feeling. This shoe design was inspired by topographic maps conservationists would use while they traverse the backcountry, as well as use colors and textures that you would find in those spaces. For this project, I also had to design a tech pack that would be sent to a manufacturer so they could create my shoe. This is where I had to choose color, material, and hardware that would then be placed into the backpack. I mean the shoe, sorry. And after a few months, we got the shoe. We got to see it become real. And now I would like to introduce you to Guardian. Guardian is that conservationist. They are going out and traversing using Field in the backcountry with a light, resilient, and stable shoe that they can trust. So Field is for those protectors of the trail and is for the best of the best. Now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my second project, Fido. Fido is making those moments with your pets. This project was inspired by the rotomolding manufacturing process and how it could be implemented in a dog bathing bath solution for pet owners. But as I started to look into this area, I started to discover some issues pet owners were having. First up, pet owners were struggling with their baths not one size fit all, and they were struggling to find the perfect bath for their dog. As well as they're struggling during the bathing process of not having enough hands while trying to do all these, to clean their dog. And then lastly, it is a messy process. This is truly what inspired me to do the molding manufacturing process because of rotomolding using plastic that is very cleanable and kind of prevents those messes. So what does this product need to be? It needs to fit all, it needs to free hands, and it needs to contain the mess. I started to look at emulators to help me guide in my sketching process. So I looked at universal, assistive, cleanable, and multifunctional emulators. And as I started my sketching, these emulators really impacted my design. So universal, looking at form and shape, assistive, looking at components and elements, and then cleanability and multifunctional in the overall form as well as how it was put together. I then jumped into CAD exploration with isometric and sizing, then rotomolding with the plastic material, as well as adjusting my design so it could be manufactured. And then finally building it in CAD and designing all the parts and elements going into it. And this is Fido. Fido is an adjustable dog bathing solution that adjusts to any dog breed and size. It is also very multifunctional. Since pet owners are only washing their dogs once or twice a month, they need some other way to use this product, especially if it's taking up space in their backyard. So it can be used as table or storage, as you can see here. And now I'd like to walk you through the life cycle of this product. So first, table and storage, as you know. Then there's the setup process, which a dog can easily get into it. Then there's the washing. And then there's the shelter, which is also another multifunctional capability of this product. So a dog can get away from the heat of a hot day. Lastly, I would like to introduce you to my project Solo Duo. This project was inspired by the Solo Cup Company and how I could inspire more people to make moments with their friends and family and celebrate the good times together. So I looked at parties. What do people need in their celebrations, and what does Solo have in their product line? First, they need cups. Solo got that. They need cups and plates. They also have that. You need utensils. Solo doesn't have that, but that's not a huge innovation point. What do they not have? Well, they don't have coolers. Coolers is a big opportunity for Solo. So what do partygoers need in their cooler? So what problems are they experiencing with their coolers? So they're having transportation problems. They have no way to monitor their cooler with having leaks. And then they are lacking accessibility within the features. So I looked at Solo's fun and playful forms to then start ideating, looking at lids, the body, taking heavy inspiration from the Solo cup and cylinders, looking at handles and spouts on easeability and access. Then I jumped into prototype exploration with some mini models, built a full-scale model, which I then painted, and then identified some further issues that I was having with my design, which I went back and re-ideated and fixed those, which gave me my final design, Solo Duo. And you can really see it captures the Solo DNA of some of their most iconic products. Some very key features here are the stackability and the fact that it comes in pairs. So whether it is multiple drink options, multiple people can access it at one time, as well as a one-handed spout. So if you have a plate or food, you can also access it. I also explored some colorways and recycled materials with this project. And so to celebrate the good times together and bring people together, because all great things come in pairs. I'd also like to briefly touch on my senior thesis, which is about family camping, where I'm exploring making those moments with family. And if you would like to see more about that, please come to Chroma. But in recap, making those moments with yourself, pets, friends, and family. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I really appreciate you.
All right, I'm back. But this time we have to be really quick about it, okay? We're gonna be doing which state is the largest now. So this is gonna, not like Alaska, but like which state has the largest blank. So join fast, we don't have a lot of time. And no, Texas is not the largest state, I heard that. It's Alaska. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Last few people. All right, we're gonna start. Which state has the largest pistachio? And the answer is New Mexico. Good job. The world's largest ball of twine. And that's Kansas. All right, world's largest mailbox. Illinois, my home state. Now, if anyone misses this one, I might judge you a bit. Where's the world's largest basket? Ah. Alrighty, where's the world's largest check egg in? That is in Kansas, only 2 people. I picked the other answers were the most popular Czech areas, so. Where's the world's largest miniature circus? And that one is in Florida. The world's largest flying American flag. No, I put Texas there to trick you guys. It is California. The world's largest steel gavel. And this is in downtown Columbus, if you haven't been there. All right, we have Bernsey. Can I get Bernsey's hand up, please? All the way in the back. Cookie for you. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for playing. And let's all calm back down so we can give Connor Tooney his moment to shine. Come on up, Connor Tooney. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Does this thing work? Hello? Okay. It's doing the same thing. Okay. Hello, my name is Connor Tooney, and I'm a senior industrial design student at CCAD. So I'm from Westerville, Ohio, and growing up, I played a lot of lacrosse, and that got me to university. I went to Otterbein first in this fall of 2019, but I didn't really have any degree and a passion for anything there. So I decided to transfer to CCAD in the spring and follow in the footsteps of my father in industrial design. Right after that, we had COVID, but we survived it all. We had remote classes, and it still, worked really well, actually. And I had the great opportunity that next year to spend a year teaching design and technology at a boarding school outside of Oxford, England. When I got back, I wanted to continue working. So I started my own company and started working with smaller businesses in town. But enough for me right now. Let's get on some of the projects I'm going to be talking about with you today. So this is Nautilus, a relaxing experience by the poolside. So first, what kind of pool environments are there? We got the local public pool, we got the hotel pool, we have your resort pool, and even your own backyard. But you know, whenever you go to these places, we all have the same first question. Where do I sit and where do I put my stuff? So this is going to be your answer most of the time. You're going to have one of these chairs that are super hot from being in the sun all day. They're cheap, they kind of snap and stretch, they turn brown, and sometimes you get stuck and fall through them. The thing's clumsy, things break and pop off, and sometimes you flip it over. It has no shade and it has no storage. So for this, I'm going to start looking at providing some shade so people can get out of the sun and the wind, and maybe even give them some extra privacy. Have comfort, have some structure, and maybe some materials so it's more plush and comfortable to sit in. And some storage so you can put some of your things with you off the ground, and I don't want it to affect the design overall though. So where do we take some inspiration? First, the pool life. You know, you got slides, you got those tubes that you get on. I want this to be an organic shape. I want it to be kind of round, bulbous looking, and I want it to be fun. You know, I want a kid these days, when he turns my age, this is something he reminds them, and it's like nostalgia. So first, when I did my ideations, I'm looking at some shading options, looking at the Nautilus, some wave features, and even the diving board. And when I was looking at comfort, I wanted something that was more round and kind of the shape that you get with a slide. And so when I was also looking at storage, I wanted somewhere that you could put your drinks. And also you want something to put your towel and stuff out of the way so people don't run through it. And you want it off the ground so you don't have that muddy dirt that's probably where you're gonna put your stuff. So looking at all of this, I decided to go with this concept, and it kind of met all my requirements. I finished designing it in CAD, and as you can see, I met the requirements with a canopy for shade, a cushion, and some storage in the back area where it's out of the way, and it also has storage for your drinks. CMF to kind of prove that it's manufacturable, showing you that I made a concept with and without the canopy, even made a couch version with and without the canopy, put it into its context, and I ended up winning the Student Design Award for the rotational molder, the Association of Rotational Molders last year, and was featured in Roto Magazine under the X Factor article. Next project is Musin. This is a speaker for a career-driven college student. So what does one of those look like? They are on the move, going to classes, having meetings, trying to make connections, and getting a job. They're always in studio, labs, workshops, they're always grinding, trying to get things done. And when they're at home, they're doing their homework. But what I like the most is they're appreciating life when they're finally done with all that hard work, and they're appreciating it with the people that appreciated them. So first, this thing's gotta be compact. It's gotta be easy, it's gotta be a seamless transition to effortless studio audio. It's got to have multiple deployable options so it can be in different environments. And it's got to have a seamless and modern design so it's easy on the mind of a hard worker that's stressed out all day. So what does this start to look like? Well, with a simple and modern design, I wanted something that had some nice rounds to it, simple shape, and something that could fit in the palm of your hand. So I made some quick SketchUps of some forms, decided to go with these two. And while going through this, I really stuck with the idea of a mouse. It's already a proven concept that fits in the palm of your hand and is very much portable. With multiple deployable options, I was looking at like a speaker stand. It's already been proven, and maybe a cantilever. No, I can't speak it. So it can hook onto your backpack and other things like that. Canabiner, there it is. Simple and modern, something slim and easy for the eye. So what meets all three of these was this concept. And I wanted to quickly make a clay model of this for size, ergonomics in the hand, to show that it can fit in a pocket and in your backpack. So now that it has a carabiner, it can fit onto the person's backpack. Now that it's a slim form, it can fit in the person's pocket. Now that it has a foldable stand, it can be pointed towards you on your desk. And now that it lays flat, everybody gets to experience the enjoyment of being together. So here's just looking at some of the innards and getting the overall look, some of the feature, and some color options for you. And here's it in action. My thesis I would like to show, it's Versalon. This is the homeowner's effortless lawn care solution. So question for you, is there an easy way a homeowner, we can reduce homeowner stress, reclaim their time, and reduce the stress, the risk of their family and the environment? Well, I believe there is with automation and AI and how it's developing lately, and apply these two things to lawn care. Did you know now about $100 billion a year are spent in America on lawn care and roughly $500 per household? So when you look at this yard, you probably have an assumption of the owner. Same thing with this one. And now all of you, everybody wants this yard, but what does it take to get such a nice lawn? Well, you got to mow the grass, you got to whack the weeds, you got to edge the flower bed and sidewalks, trim the hedges and trees, pick up the leaves and debris, watering the grass and plants, and killing those weeds. So what's the problem? Well, most everybody is just is working all day, and when they get home, they have to make dinner. And by that point, it's too dark to do any yard work. So what do you have to do? You have to take time out of your weekend. Thank you, someone laughed. They would much rather be spending that time with family, or with their friends, or doing their hobbies, or just, you had a long week, you just want to relax on the weekend. So what's the most time-consuming thing in the yard? It's mowing the grass. And what is the most stressful, harmful to the homeowner and its family and the environment? It's killing the weeds. And I think I have a solution with AI and automation to complete both those tasks, but you'll have to come to Chroma this spring to come and see what my solution is. I would also like to say recently I've been hired on as a package designer at Axiom, and I would like to thank them, and I can't wait to continue working with them after graduation. If any of you guys would like to see more of my work or talk to me afterwards, that'd be great. Thank you very much, and I appreciate all of you.
All right, and that is it for the CCAD, everyone. Please take this time to get up, stretch your legs, grab some more snacks, and we'll be coming back in a few minutes to start on ICC. Thank you. Alrighty, everyone, we have one more minute until we get started. If you guys want to start finding your seats again, thank you.
You could clap as you switch to the next thing, so we're not like, well, and then you gotta find a way to keep the next person. It's both the last two users had their mouse like on slides.
All right, everyone, if you guys could find your seats, please, so we can get back and watching these amazing design presentations. Alrighty, so as you guys get out your seats, we're going to start with ICC, the finalists. The first person up is Nathan Gobergy. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Hi, I'm Nathan Gabrogi, and I'm a senior industrial design student at the ICC. Today, I'll walk you through 3 of my projects. First, looking at how applying a brand. Second, empathizing with the user and their needs. Third, looking into the future in my design process, and for innovative technology. The G-Shock handheld flashlight is designed and built for durability, accessibility, and ergonomics. G-Shock is a watch brand that is a subsidiary of Casio, if you didn't know, and they're known for being rugged, overbuilt, and having exposed hardware. TTI partnered with us in their mentorship program and sent us their products to test and tear down to fully understand how to make it with the internal components to fit inside, and how to test and see where we could improve. Through testing this product, I found some improvements that I want to apply to my design. Firstly, single hand operation. Second, increased durability. And third, button pressure, making the button easy to press. In addition to the function of this product, I wanted to incorporate G-Shock's brand language. So I pulled some forms and shapes from their watches to embrace their brand. Developing the idea further, I brought it into VR to fully understand how it would look like in three-dimensional space and how it would fit into the hand. I would like to introduce you the G-Shock handheld flashlight. It has an octagonal form for a rugged feeling with bezel guards and bumper guards to increase the durability, with the iconic G-Shock button and textured grip to give the delightful detail that really is fitting for G-Shock. With accessibility to the light head and overmolded grips, you can now use this device with single hand operation. G-Shock is also known for having many colorways to give options to the consumers. These colorways exhibit that tactical feeling that G-Shock has and gives those options to those customers. The G-Shock handheld flashlight is rugged and empowers the user to with increased durability and better accessibility to the head. Next, empathizing with the user. The HelloFresh Grab and Go provides a stress-free option to meal planning, grocery shopping, and healthy eating. HelloFresh is known for being fresh, sustainable, and affordable while reducing carbon footprints. So to focus the people I'm designing for is the grocery shopper and the HelloFresh user. The grocery shopper wants a quick way to get groceries for the week and to have healthy food that's ready to cook. So how might we bring in new customers to HelloFresh and provide a healthy option that's quick and easy to make? Secondly, the HelloFresh user. They want a physical HelloFresh opportunities as well as faster HelloFresh service and to see exactly what you are buying. So how might we personalize your HelloFresh orders while providing a physical location to interact with the brand and see exactly what you are buying? Understanding the process a little further, I created a journey map to think from thinking about shopping all the way to going home and unpacking their groceries. Some major pain points in this process was making grocery lists and having not enough time to plan your meals out for the week and understand what groceries you need to get. Through sketches, I ideated different solutions that addressed the user's needs and developed it even further with prototypes. The first version I settled on was a 10 meals that were prepackaged and ready to cook. I found that this was a little bulky, so I decided to downsize and made a 5-meal version that could fit into the fridge. With a further refinement of the design and how it looks, I am glad to introduce to you the HelloFresh Grab and Go. The HelloFresh Grab and Go has a carrier, a pressed pulp carrier that is reusable and holds the cardboard insert housing the 5 prepackaged meals. This could be bought in store at the HelloFresh kiosk. The HelloFresh kiosk first side is the grab and go side. So this would have the prepackaged meals that you could select and customize what meals you want for the week, and then reuse that carrier you saw earlier. Second side is I wanted to show HelloFresh in person. So having accessibility to HelloFresh in store, having that physical contact with it, and having also locally sourced ingredients to provide for it. This product, this HelloFresh Grab and Go empowers the users to have healthy and fresh food that's quick and easy to get quickly. Now, finally, looking into the future of design with the Canoe Autonomous Ambulance, the human-centered modular vehicle designed to fit your needs and provide quality care. I was the lead designer for this project, working primarily on VR while working with the other team members on the team. The idea behind this was to work an autonomous ambulance for quicker response time in a gig economy. This gig economy would be a paramedic would get a ping on their phone if they're closest to the scene. They wouldn't be at the station. They'd be in their home, get a ping, and they would rush to the scene and help the people and be met there by the autonomous ambulance. This autonomous ambulance would be on the EV platform of Canoe with Canoe's brand language. This is the original concept that was selected by the professors to move forward in development, and it focused primarily on modularity and accessibility with the sliding side door. I want 3 design cues that I brought from Canoe was the A-line chamfer from the fascia all the way through the rooftop, and the continuous rocker that wraps around the bottom. Also the bulky back end to give the ruggedness and the off-road appeal. I wanted to implement AI into my design as an upcoming thing, and I took my VR model, rendered it, and put it in an AI called Viscom to get a dynamic scenery that I can place this in. With a little post-processing, let me introduce to you the Canoe autonomous ambulance rushing to the scene. This ambulance has optional back ends, so for the modularity, that could be more storage, a pop-up medical station, or an all-terrain extraction vehicle by not having any back end. This could fit the needs of any station's wants or needs. It also enhances the accessibility through a sliding side door with an easy to load back end, and increased visibility with a wraparound windshield. This design is human-centered, versatile, with function-driven form, with modularity of the back end, and while applying Canoe's brand language. Thank you so much. I would love to talk to you more or connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you.
All right, I'm back, and you know what that means. Next quiz. Get your phone out, get ready to QR code. Our next quiz is going to be based on my favorite food. And I will open the QR code. All right, last few people. All right, we're gonna start in 10 seconds. All right, and it is the ice cream quiz. All right, most people got it. Good, good. You know your tiramisu. And the answer is Vermont. And what makes them wet? That would be the maple syrup. The ice cream of the flavor is Dippin' Dots. And that would be Dairy Queen. In Canada. You're my real friend if you know this one. And it is July. It sounds like a lot of people weren't happy with that one. It is New Zealand. This is the last question. All right. See, most people got that one. And let us look at who won here. We have Gum Queen. You have Gum Queen, raise your hand, please. Awesome. Right. Alrighty, and we're gonna start off with our next person, Abby Ryan from ICC. Can we please give Abby Ryan a round of applause? That's my bad. Okay. Now we can.
Thank you. All right. Welcome to my presentation for, yeah? Yes, absolutely. Let's get this out of the way. Perfect. Welcome to my presentation for the 2024 Student Merit Awards. My name is Abigail Ryan, and I am representing the International Center for Creativity. I'm passionate about design thinking to encourage learning and creating opportunities for meaningful experiences, which you'll see throughout these next 3 projects. We're going to look at using design thinking in research, creating a cohesive experience through architecture, and a brand extension project to move into a new product category. Starting off, this project was an exploration of medication adherence for the purpose of improving the health and education of the Kettering population. We wanted to discover underserved people groups and apply design thinking to better understand patients and providers. This was a collaborative project between Kettering Health Network, the Cedarville University School of Pharmacy, and the International Center for Creativity. We use empathetic research methods to better understand our patients and the problem. Starting with a concept map, we mapped out all aspects of medication adherence, as well as the types of patients that are affected. Our stakeholder map helped us understand who is impacting patients' behaviors the most. All of these, we also looked at primary care providers, retail pharmacists, and insurance providers. All of these things help to narrow our scope from the broad problem of medication adherence to the specific patient group of the immigrant population of Kettering and the specific problems that they face. We use empathy maps to better understand our interviews, finding insights such as the fact that many immigrant families aren't aware of the resources that are available to them and their children. These help to inform our user personas, which broke down different types of pharmacists and patients to understand their goals and pain points. Alongside of journey maps, these also help to understand where motivation was needed the most for success between patients and providers. All of these things came together to generate point of view statements so we could put ourselves in the shoes of pharmacists and patients and understand what they need and how we can get it to them. This was all condensed into a final presentation given to our partners, where we found a few things. First of all, the immigrant population does play a significant role in the Dayton metro area. And also, medication adherence is multifaceted and dependent on human nature, so it will never be fully solved. But by increasing accessibility to healthcare and behavioral interventions, we can be more successful than simply increasing their knowledge. Also, behavior modification and gamification are useful techniques to increase a patient's motivation. Now looking at the Prairie Haven Nature Preserve Park, created for De Smet, South Dakota. This was a group project where we sought to enhance visitor experience and boost tourism in De Smet, South Dakota, which is known as being the home of Laura Ingalls Wilder. We focused on a couple main user groups. First was the local retiree. They need accessibility in the park, and they want a place for community to gather and appreciate the region beyond just being a tourist attraction. For the family-focused tourists, they have kids with a wide range of ages and ability levels. They also need that accessibility. They also need to be interactive and a good resting place on their road trip. For the exterior design, my team focused on the concept of the covered wagon and the log cabin, which represent the era of Laura Ingalls Wilder, while moving it into a more modern take for the next generation of De Smet. Here's a couple looks at the exterior we developed, and here's a shot of approaching the visitor center. For this next phase of the design, we individually created a concept for the interior, and I wanted my interior to be bright and approachable. Here's a top-down look of my design, as well as how visitors and staff would move through the space, minimizing congestion points and guiding the visitor through the space into the rest of the park. Here, you're looking down the hallway towards the exhibits with the bathrooms with easy access on the right and some craft interactive tables for the children on the left. On the bottom left-hand corner, you can see a look at the reading corner also included. Here you can see some of the exhibits covering the history of the region, the ecosystem, and as you exit out that back door, you also see a map of the trails of the park. Next, we're going to look at brand extension moving into a new product design category. This was done in partnership with Tectronic Industries. I was designing a cordless vacuum for Jeep, who is known for being rugged, customizable, and made for adventure. This is perfect for users like Stephanie, who define themselves as adventurous and spontaneous and loves those weekend camping trips. The cordless stick vacuum allows her to get that quick cleanup and clean in tight spaces while on the go. Ryobi sent us some of their products to use and break down to better understand the architecture and operation of the vacuum to improve our new concepts. My proposal for the Jeep vacuum is a nod to the classic Jeep Wrangler with those chamfered edges, including the on-the-go attachment storage and bright lights to enhance visibility while vacuuming. Here you can see my final rendering for the Jeep vacuum. It's easy access button interface on the handle, as well as its classic Jeep look with the neutral color palette with that pop of color, enables users like Stephanie to have meaningful experiences while still staying clean and organized. Thank you so much for your attention.
All right, everyone, grab your phones. Let's see. Let's do this one. Alrighty, here's the next one. And this one's all about your favorite breakfast food. Well, Americans' favorite breakfast food, cereal. I didn't think the name of my trivias were going to show up so large. All right, in 10 more seconds. I'll put this up one more time. All right, no one else, let's go. It's going to show you a picture and you're going to identify that cereal. The speed is going to matter on this. All right, that one is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Hold on. Ooh. And that one was Kix. Almost everyone, Cookie Crisp. And that one was Cocoa Pebbles. Smacks. I've never heard of it, so sorry for that. And that one was Frankenberry. Part of the Halloween collection. All right, and Frosted Mini Wheats. And we're moving on to our last question. And let's see, and that one was Banana Pudding Cereal. And let's see who won this one. We got Deli and Tater Tot as a tie. Can I get both you guys raising your hands for me? Over in the back over there. And wonderful. Alrighty, we're gonna bring up our last ICC member, Gavin Smith. Can we get a round of applause for Gavin Smith?
Thank you. Oh, you got me. Hi, my name is Gavin Smith, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity to take you guys on a brief journey through a few of my projects. So today we're going to look at I'm going to showcase three of my projects. We're going to do footwear, then some transportation design, and then we'll close out with a product design project. And while this is a diverse range of projects, hopefully you can see throughout the consistency of my exploration and use of innovative tools and workflows to move from an idea to a final design. Let's start with some footwear. So On is a brand based out of Zurich, Switzerland, and they've quickly made a name for themselves in the running category. And while they have made a few attempts at lifestyle footwear, they haven't had many strong designs that really managed to blend their brand identity but also with the market needs for lifestyle footwear. So their brand, one of their main taglines is igniting the human spirit through movement, and they really value sustainability and then technological innovation. And then in their visual brand language, one of the things that's very iconic that you've probably seen with On is their use of negative space in the midsole, which really communicates comfort, and then also breathability, use of light colors. A lot of these things were things I wanted to keep in mind. And then looking at some of the trends in lifestyle, different silhouettes, sneakers that are versatile, and then also application of non-traditional materials. So beginning to explore, I went to the drawing board and converged on this design that you see in the bottom right. This design was a strong solution in the way that it managed to use the negative space. I interpreted it in a non-literal way in this particular design, where in the lifestyle category, you don't need necessarily negative space in the midsole. So I had the wraparound rubber grips that emulate that design motif. Taking it into 3D to further develop my idea, I used a program called Gravity Sketch, which uses a VR interface. And as you can see, I was able to use my two-dimensional drawings and then actually wrap them around in 3D space, the lass, which is the gray foot-shaped thing. And then from there, I was able to move into adding materials and colors to further flesh out my idea. And also, so the breathability of the materials in the upper and some of the design details. And what really excited me about this final design was the way that it was able to combine the brand identity of On, but then also apply it in a new category. And I think what makes it feel fresh is the fact that it does stay true to On and doesn't just feel like a copy of what's already out there. The next project was a team project where we were providing, the goal was to explore providing quicker response to emergencies in rural Iowa through the design of a semi-autonomous response vehicle. So my role in this particular project was to take the original sketches and orthographics that my teammate created, and then to take those into 3D and then create some final renders from that. So before I could actually take it into VR, I needed to just take the orthographics and then with some sketches, explore the surfacing, how are the surfaces going to flow into each other, and just how are they going to act in 3D. And then from there, I was able to create what's called a wireframe, which is essentially just a sketch in 3D, which became the skeleton that I wrapped the surfaces around. One of the key challenges that I encountered in this project was the door detail. It wasn't something that was very fleshed out in the original concept, but what initially was just actually a design feature, I was like, hey, why couldn't that panel actually be the door? So it turned into this pop-out, slide-back door, which allows it to seamlessly integrate with the design, but then also the sliding motion reduces the chance of it getting hit by passing vehicles when it's parked on the side of the road. So for this workflow, I didn't need the surfaces to be perfect, since I was using AI to actually create my renders, but I just needed it to be accurate to the original concept and then able to be easily interpreted by Viscom. So using Viscom, these were actually, I just took screenshots of my model in VR, and then I was able to import those into Viscom and create these just basic volume renders pretty quickly. And rotating, I could get different views. So post-processing with some digital sketching and some Photoshop, I was able to quickly visualize my teammates' design for a semi-autonomous vehicle that could respond to remote areas as second wave support. And then this last project that we'll be looking at is a product design project. This was a really unique opportunity with Tektronix Industries, their mentorship program. And the brief that they gave us was to redesign their Ryobi stick vacuum using the brand of G-Shock. So they very generously sent us a bunch of their products to just tear apart, disassemble, and explore some of the details. How does it function? What are some of the different uses? And then also some of the details that I wanted to apply to my design. And then also as part of the research, just considering what are a lot of the other main stick vacuums that are out there, what are some of the design features I wanted to incorporate. G-Shock, which is the brand that I was designing for, is very tactical, tough, and overbuilt. And going even further into some of the specific forms and design details, I explored also some colors that could add a little more, some of the colors that are used by the brand, but could add a little more pop for something like a stick vacuum that's a household product. And as a part of that, one of the key challenges in this particular project was how do you take a brand, design for a brand that's pretty tactical and rugged like G-Shock, but then design a stick vacuum, which is normally considered a household product. But what this actually allowed was it allowed for a pretty unique opportunity to design a stick vacuum for users that might want to use it in like a shop setting or in a garage or even in a work site. Some of the specific designs or design guidelines that I wanted to keep in mind were quick and spontaneous for quick spontaneous cleanup, lights for good visibility, and then also a design that is streamlined but still robust. These volume studies were really important in my workflow to be able to understand what are the basic components of a stick vacuum and how can I reconfigure them to optimize the performance for the user. And then through sketching, I was able to explore both referencing my volume studies and then also some of the testing we did with the stick vacuum. I was able to move towards this final design that is streamlined but still robust, and also that lower placement of the weight was a decision that was made because it's less fatiguing, we figured out with using the vacuums, and also it's a little bit more maneuverable. Sometimes with product design, it is just the little details. So one-handed access, clear visibility with that window in the front, and then some of these design details that are very characteristic of G-Shock. And then like we talked about earlier, the lights for seeing under objects, and then this, which is affectionately called the Cheerio hole. It allows for larger crumbs to get under instead of just getting pushed along the floor. So this project met the goal of being good for quick cleanup, streamlined and robust, and also improved visibility for the user. So each of these 3 projects that we've looked at are ultimately just a journey from an idea to a final concept. And hopefully you've been able to see the way that as a designer, I'm always looking for better workflows and better tools that I can use to make that journey more efficient and a better experience. Thank you so much.
All right, and that was our final ICC member. Can we give a big round of applause for all the ICC presented today? We're going to take 5 minutes in between the groups if you need to go to that bathroom. Little mingling, but be aware, only about 5 minutes. Thank you. Alrighty, everyone. 1 minute warning if you guys could start going towards your seats. That's a 1 minute warning. All right, everyone. We are going to start with The Ohio State University now, beginning with Nolan Green. Everyone, round of applause for Nolan Green.
There we are. Hello, everyone. My name is Nolan Green, and I'm a fourth-year industrial design student here at Ohio State. This presentation will be about design as a scalable experience and the projects that taught me that. In my studies at The Ohio State University, I've learned that design has given me the ability to adapt the skills and processes to projects ranging from the personal level to the citywide and beyond. This past summer, I was fortunate to be selected to design at the room scale for the Graduate Design Studio here at OSU. Before this summer, the space was in a state of disrepair. The room had poor lighting and was in need of adequate storage. For this project, I was very limited in budget and time. I had an imposed limitation of materials by my professor. Early on in the design process, I went to Montreal and seized the opportunity to do some research into the kinds of furniture that the international design world had to offer. I spent my time investigating the joinery, the shapes, proportions, and more. Some of the projects were repurposed from furniture that was being unutilized in storage, and some were just made entirely from scratch. The studio's storage units were made to be as cost-effective as possible without compromising the structural integrity and lifespan of the units. Per my boss's requests, I made them out of OSB, both for aesthetic and economic reasons. I designed and developed 4 units to help house the studio materials of 20+ grad students. For the kitchenette, I redesigned the doors, countertop, and backsplash to match the aesthetic precedent of the storage units. I 3D modeled and printed matching handles to give some modern flair to the space. The studio was in desperate need of a space for people to get away from their desks and relax a little. The vector loungers and multi-purpose box stools were designed to fit that very need. I had less than a month from start to finish for this portion of the project, which led to a lot of rapid prototyping, making impactful decisions on the fly, and lots of impromptu critiques. One of the unique features of the lounger is that due to the project constraints, it was designed in such a way that one chair and one box could be CNC'd out of a single sheet of 4x8 plywood. With the tight budget in mind, my diffuse lamp was designed using simple geometric principles, some clever 3D printed joinery, and poster board to become the lamp of the design department. Its light and modular design allows for quick and easy repairs if segments become damaged. Files for making your own lamp are in the process of being uploaded to Creative Commons. This internship helped me get firsthand experience with design at the room scale. In my junior year, the collaborative studio class that I took was all about city planning. This was an opportunity to apply design on a bigger stage for even more people. SURF 5 is the Sustainable Urban Renewal Project proposal that covers 5 districts in Columbus. This book encompasses many challenging areas in urban America, such as transportation, sustainability, and culture. My team of Lydia Yan, Mia Kobolinski, and Jenna Bauer identified some issues that exist within Grandview, such as limited food access, safety for pedestrians, access to parks and waterways, and connectivity. To address some of these issues, my team used design thinking to generate some proposals ranging from the more speculative variety to the ones more practical and down to earth for the city of Columbus to consider. Power with Purpose was a theme that introduced solutions like a hydroelectric dam along the Olentangy River to help offset some of the carbon footprint and reduce energy costs for Grandview. Reinventing the Past was a theme centered on transportation for Grandview and the greater Columbus area. We proposed establishing 2 trolley lines along the main streets that run through Grandview to increase both the walkability and connectivity of the region. Our third concept was Nexus. It is comprised of the 3 C's: culture, character, and culinary. Grandview has a unique identity, and our proposals for this pillar were focused around bringing the community together through outdoor event spaces like parks, markets, and theaters. Here, you can see a satellite map marked with the different proposals for Grandview and its connected areas. This project taught me how designers can influence the world on the scale of a city. For my senior capstone, I worked with the National Park Service in Dayton to make aviation more approachable and exciting for future generations. The project's reach expanded far beyond what I had initially anticipated. The Wright brothers were the pioneers of powered flight, and the Dayton Aviation Heritage National Historic Park wanted me to find a way to help them carry on the legacy that was left behind. I spent the first 8 weeks researching how museums, parks, and experiential design firms told their stories and captivated their audiences, so I could try and have success of my own. Compiling the research and finding direction was a group effort, as I worked closely with my classmates brainstorming ideas that could fit the scope of the project. The video I will be showing you was made as a supporting project proposal for the capstone. Aviation really has come a long way in the past 100 years. From the first flight of the Wright brothers to commercial airlines and beyond. It all started with a simple puddle jumper given to the Wright brothers that sparked their curiosity enough to begin their exploration of flight. The Wright brothers left us with more than just the principles of flight. They left us with a spirit of imagination and innovation, a spirit that looks beyond what is possible and reaches into the impossible, and even the death-defying. We believe that it is our responsibility at Dayton Aviation Heritage National Historic Park to carry on that spirit for generations to come. Many of you may be asking, how can I carry on their legacy? We are proud to introduce you to the Pinewood Flyer Derby, an annual event hosted by the National Park Service where aspiring innovators and aviators ages 12 to 18 can enter their own Pinewood Flyer. Everyone will pick up their kit from the park upon registering on the scheduled date. Upon opening your kit, you will be met with 3 customizable Pinewood fuselages, a bottle of glue, parts for your own test launcher, a utility knife, and some other materials to help you get imagining and innovating right away. Follow the instructions for your first flyer, assemble your test launcher, and let it fly. Make your flyer your way, and we will see you on Derby Day, where you can compete for a variety of medals for performance and style. I designed numerous assets that made up this kit and supported it. The Pinewood Flyer Derby reaches beyond just a model kit or a national park. It's about preserving the heritage, the legacy, and the excitement of human flight. Design for me is a flexible tool set that isn't just limited to products or interfaces. It has reach and impact at every scale. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's see what our next quiz will be. Next one is going to be Ohio Fun Facts, so please join. All right, last few people. All right, let's start. I don't know how to say that word, sorry. I'm not from Ohio. Dayton, Ohio. I also don't know how to say that one. Starts with a B. And that is Miami University. That one is Bicycle Makers. And this one's Lifesavers. That one was Steven Spielberg. And our most populous city is Columbus, Ohio. All right, and we're gonna see who won today. We have Justin. Could Justin raise your hand, please? Awesome. We're gonna give you a cookie over there. You can set that right. All right, everyone, we're gonna bring up Sarah Core. Can everyone give a round of applause for Sarah Core?
Yes. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Core, and today I'm going to be telling some of my favorite stories. I've always loved stories. I listened to them as a little kid at bedtime, performed them on stage in high school, and experienced them as history when I began to travel the world in college. There's nothing like a good story. And ever since I started my own journey as a design student, I've fallen in love with how storytelling can inform experiences. When you experience something new, there is usually a bigger narrative beyond what meets the eye. There is a history, real or fictional, waiting to be uncovered. The story behind an experience makes it unique, interesting, and worth remembering. It gives it depth and meaning. And so today, I will be telling you some of my favorite stories and how they've informed some of my favorite experiences. The first story I'd like to introduce is called Lollihops, completed in a third-year Winter Market studio where students design and develop home goods. This was a team project with my classmate, Jason Dionisio. Jason and I were tasked with incorporating tea culture into a home good, and thus dove into researching everything about it. We ended up discovering tea pets, small clay animals that sit on tea trays. The story behind these pets is sweet. In tea culture, one should not drink alone, and so having one of these ensures that when you drink, you always have a companion. You can pour any leftover tea on them, which they'll happily absorb as they help finish your drink off. Using this narrative, Jason and I developed tea pet themed stirrers, bringing tea pets into a new medium, which came in the form of recycled bamboo cutting boards, which we split and laser cut into individual stirrers. There are 3 separate tea pet faces, all frogs ready to drink with you, and they've been well fed. Every one of these stirrers was stained by being soaked in black tea, just as regular tea pets would be soaked during drinking time. For a more curated drinking experience, Jason and I created a silicone mold to attach chocolate and candied honey to the base of each stirrer. But even after their candied ends melt away, these stirrers are reusable and can remain with their drinking companions for years to come. Jason and I brought 60 stirrers in packages of 3 to our Winter Market event and sold out in 20 minutes. All proceeds benefited our IDSA student chapter. And that's the story behind Lollihops, how tea pet culture was incorporated into a modern stirrer so no one will ever have to sip alone again. My next story is called the Wineland Park Steppers. This was a team project with classmates Maria Bowman and Nolan Green. This story is more of a history. Wineland Park is a neighborhood southeast of campus that is currently experiencing a split between old and new residents. Much of the community has become polarized as this changing neighborhood has to relearn how to cohabitate and connect. Our task was to incorporate a sense of community into the neighborhood via play. We walked the area and picked a small stretch of grass dividing a road. We figured this median might be a good location to bring people together, as it's a central spot. To incorporate a sense of play, we set out to create an installation along the length of the median that residents could use as benches, as well as a basic playground, what we called steppers. We pulled typologies from Wineland Park, such as the architecture and geometry, and ended up pursuing an oval shape that matched the aerial view of the median. We created 1-to-1 scale models of a section of the stepper installation, painting them colors inspired by the houses of Wineland Park, and then visualize them as a full set that matched the length and shape of the median. Wineland residents can sit, stand, climb, and race over these steppers. While simple in appearance, they pull from elements of Wineland Park that visually define it to residents and visitors alike. These steppers tell the story of reuniting a community, drawing from its roots and providing a space of play for the neighborhood it will soon host. The final story I'd like to dive into is my senior capstone, the Travel Ready Currency Package. This was done under the guidance of Huntington Bank's digital interface team. What makes this project unique is that it was built off of a foundation of collected stories. I interviewed around 40 travelers about their experiences abroad to see where a bank might be able to step in to make things easier, and then use these stories to inform the development of my final product. Here's how it all went down. Studying abroad is a popular and formative university experience, with over 2,400 Ohio State students participating in 2019. Students are able to embrace new perspectives, navigate new cultures, work with diverse peers, and see what the rest of the world has to offer. But traveling does not come without its stresses. Visiting another country means needing new currency, and while credit cards are widely accepted, it is still recommended that a student take physical currency with them abroad for both safety and convenience. Currently, the process to obtain this currency and then return what's left of it after a trip is cumbersome and costly for OSU students. Current services provided by Ohio State's Global Education Program do not provide any direct way to navigate these obstacles. Students face high fees and confusing logistics about what they can and can't exchange. This leads to unnecessary overspending and an added layer of stress when planning for a trip abroad. Enter the Huntington Travel Ready Currency Package. Available through a partnership between Ohio State's Office of International Affairs and Huntington Bank, the Travel Ready package sets students up with all their necessary spending gear before they go abroad and provides a convenient, quick, and easy avenue to re-exchange any leftover currency upon returning to the States. Students can order the Travel Ready package via an online form. They'll select their specific global education trip to receive recommendations on how much of their currency they'll need. Exchange rates will be automatically calculated. Students are also able to order a prepaid card to take extra currency abroad, ensuring easy spending and convenience while reducing how much physical cash is needed. For Huntington customers, this card is reloadable and can be re-exchanged. Students will also receive a coin purse filled with a few starter coins for their journey and an RFID sleeve to protect their new card. There's also an option to receive the package in a durable travel folio to take abroad should a student desire to upgrade. After picking up their package from OSU's Office of International Affairs, students are officially ready to spend money abroad. Upon return, any leftover money can be re-exchanged at OIA as part of the Travel Ready service. Currency, coins, and for Huntington customers, the rest of the prepaid card, it all gets traded back at no additional fee. With Huntington's Travel Ready currency package, Ohio State students are able to better prepare themselves to study abroad without any of the stresses that come with coordinating a currency exchange. Everything can be ordered in just a few simple clicks and returned in even less. This streamlined process allows students to focus solely on their upcoming adventures. Emphasis can be placed on learning as much as possible and having a fulfilling experience while abroad. For the future adventure at Ohio State, it's time to get all your currency needs in order. Are you travel ready? And that's the story of the Travel Ready currency package, built off of the stories of past travelers with the goal to enhance the stories of future travelers. Storytelling means all sorts of different things and has evolved as I've grown as a designer. No longer am I reading bedtime stories as a toddler, now I am curating them for others to experience. Everything has a story behind it, and it's up to us as designers to pull it out and put it to good use. I hope to have done that for all of you today. And now it's time for my next adventure as a production design intern at Walt Disney Imagineering this summer, where I'll get to tell even more stories and curate even more experiences. But for now, thank you so much for listening to my story.
Let's see. I don't remember this one, but it is called Random Trivia I Found. I'm not sure what it is about completely, but please join it. All right, it sounds like we're getting done. Maybe a few more. All right, let's get this started. I'm also only giving you 10 seconds again. All right, and there is 21. And the smallest bone on the body is in the ear. I'm beginning to remember why I called this just random trivia I found. And it is in the east. And that is Switzerland. And the first letter on a keyboard is the letter Q. Hardest rock is a diamond. In Paris. Smiley is not a dwarf. And their national sport is actually lacrosse, the one person that got that. Not according to that Google. What is the world's largest law? I don't know how to say that either. All right. We got Mila. Mila, please raise their hand. Beautiful cookie for you. All right. And we are going to get with our last, but certainly not least, Ohio State member Easton Nguyen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Easton, and this is a drawing I made before I was in design. So I've related a project from each year in design to an organ. So we have a toy, a grill, and a speculative design critique. And we'll begin with the brain, the Theta Trainer, a toy that trains creativity and visualization. This project was inspired by these 3D printable toy puzzles. The issue with them is that after you do them one time, they become boring. The novelty wears off, resulting in a short product lifespan. And this is how it works. The user inserts a ball bearing into the top that travels down a series of maze drawers. The user is tasked with having to visualize to navigate where the ball is in the maze and use their memory to recall which maze they're on. This is a section view of the Theta Trainer. The cavity explains how the ball progresses from level to level. The ball bounces off a column. The ball bounces off columns along the way, giving the user haptic feedback when they have completed a drawer and are on to the next one until the ball falls out the bottom. So the solution to the problem of novelty is for the Theta Trainer to have different graded drawers. We have level 1, 4, 7, 20, offering us variety. And by also varying in drawer swappability, the skill ceiling becomes infinite. And with a browser-based maze creator and a community of members, users can download and upload creations into an entire ecosystem. But here's where the magic of this project really happens. This thesis quotes Aristotle in saying that in our mental activity, we often seem to be working with images of things we can't see, as when we remember or think about something. And he asserted that people cannot think without a mental image because those images exist independently of the visual experience. So if this is true, and this is true, that when neurons fire together, they wire together, meaning that learning is just a process of rehearsal, then the Theta Trainer becomes a toy that is actively training creativity and visualization skills. Onto the heart. The stack and smoke. A tiny cement grill that fosters meaningful experiences by bringing people together and slowing down time. This project was done alongside my classmate Maria Bowman, shown here with our grills. And here are some explanatory animations of the two directions we were deciding from. Should we make a grill that's form lends itself to being stacked, or make a grill that lets users control the airflow? We went with the left idea, the stack and smoke. And in our market analysis, we identified 3 characteristics that we qualified as being meaningful. 1, if the grill let people gather around it, it would physically bring people together. And 2, if the grill was a smoker, it would prolong the activity of grilling. And 3, if the grill was tiny and cute. So we did some material testing with cement, some process testing of creating positives and molds using silicon, 3D prints, and cement. And so here's our process. We scavenged junkyards for automotive scraps to use as our metal grates. When we ran out of those, we opted for offcuts of steel. Found a guy named Todd. He let us use his plasma cutter. Removed all the yucky slag from the steel, 3D printed and touched up our positive, clear coated it, made a box, mixed some silicon together, poured the silicon in the box, let it cure, did some surgery, removed every rock from a bag of concrete, added a mix of water and white glue, poured the cement in the mold, gave it a massage, braced the mold, let it cure, and voila. We have a grill. And here's it with some delicious and colorful food. But this project is actually not about the food. It has nothing to do with food. It's about bringing people together, breaking bread, and slowing down time. Here's something that Nietzsche says about time. He says, to glance into the world as though time were gone, and everything crooked will become straight to you. The last project, the lungs. This last project is called Exit the Rat Race, which is a speculative design critique, a sort of cautionary tale of consumerism gone wrong. So we'll begin with this quote explaining this niche section of design. It says that it is now easier for us to imagine the end of the world rather than an alternative to capitalism. But rather than giving up altogether, there are other possibilities for design. One is to use design as a means of speculating how things could be. Design speculations can act as a catalyst for collectively redefining our relationship to reality. So we'll start with this project video.
Small bedroom for everyone who learned this rich, and provide for everyone who have life freedom. They have lost the way. Greediness towards the next soul. They think too much, feel too little. More machinery, needing more. The misery that is now upon us is but the gospel of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you and slay you, who regulate your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness.
So Exit the Rat Race is an online advertisement campaign that went live through Black Friday week of 2023. It uses a body of speculatively designed products to communicate scenarios of a not so desirable future. These stories show us how the competitive nature of the modern world has created an ecosystem of exploitation, where some win and some do not. These products are not trying to be useful. They're trying to provoke and inspire. It's designed for change, designed for curiosity. It points out designs that keep asking for more, when what we really need is less. So that video was disseminated as a Reddit advertisement where I spent $117 to reach 120,000 people, got 700 people to visit the website and from 66 different countries. This project took form through 8 speculative objects. However, today we'll only be talking about 3. So we'll start with the leaderboard. The leaderboard. a dating app that shows your finances. It asks us how much of our spending comes from trying to look the part or show off or fit in. Why do we spend, and would we spend differently if everyone around us knew how much money we actually had? The cumbersome credit card, a giant credit card. It's double-ended. One side works, the other side will get you declined. It asks whether convenience is still serving us or if convenience has become harmful. Would we spend differently if spending were less convenient or if spending were more shameful? The cost of living. A hospital ventilator that cost $1.05 to operate for 1 second of its time. Why? Because that's how much it can actually cost. The cost of living takes payment through a coin slide, and it uses coins as a metric for quantifying the value of a human life in the American healthcare system. Visit more, see more here, and we'll end with a quote. To truly laugh, you must take your pain and play with it. The end.
All right, let's get a final round of applause for all of our Ohio State representatives. The judges are now going to do a very important thing, which is deliberate amongst each other and decide the winners. And that'll take about 10 or 15 minutes. Do you guys want another quiz?
And then you.
Oh, it's a microphone?
It's a microphone. It's a microphone. Hello. Hello.
OHIO.
Okay. All right, everybody, the judges have made their decisions, so please find your seats. I'd like to give another huge thank you to the judges for taking their time to help us out today and for everyone who came to watch. Ready to take it away? All right.
All right, thank you all for coming. The winner for CCAD is Rachel.
Stay up here for pictures afterwards.
Don't leave us.
Stay here? Yeah, okay.
Front and center.
All right, and the winner for ICC is Nathan.
Thank you.
All right, and the winner for the Ohio State University is Sarah.
And if we could have all participants come join us on the stage for some pictures, that would be lovely. Everyone, give everyone a round of applause.
As our students are having their photos stolen, I'll say a couple closing remarks. So first of all, good luck to our winners and to all of our students who are embarking on their design journeys after school, it's a fantastic time. So I would say one more round of applause for them. Yay! Photos and future. Thanks once again to IDSA Columbus for your help organizing this event. Thanks again to IDSA Ohio State for emceeing and bringing cookies and helping organize food and everything else. Both of our other sister schools in the Columbus area, thanks for being with us yet again for this tradition, which apparently started in 1989. Thanks, Tim, for that fun fact. Judges, thank you for your time and your diligence paying attention to all of those presentations. I've heard that they have feedback for each of the presenters, so feel free to check in with them afterward. And most importantly, thanks to all of you, all of our students' support networks, our families, our friends. Without you, none of us would be here. So thanks for coming out. Yeah. This is a reminder to please visit your school's web pages for all of those events I mentioned earlier. Students are already up here for photos. Good job. And we already know where the students are going after this, but if you're an adult and you'd like to go someplace a little less piano-y, we'll be headed to Understory. Hudson and Neil, thanks again for a great event.